Good morning. That was just absolutely beautiful, Elizabeth. And gosh, what an act to follow, huh? So good morning. I'm Dr. Marlene Bricker, and I'm here with Unity Spiritual Center in Collinsville, Illinois. Welcome, everyone. I am so happy that you are with us, whoever you are, wherever you are on your path. Whatever you believe, whatever you don't believe, it doesn't matter. You are welcome here, and we love and accept everyone. So I want to start this morning. My topic is God has left the building. And for some of you, with a question mark, for some of you who know me or have been listening, you know I like to have catchy titles because my goal is to have you think about what would I possibly mean. We all know the little thing that went around about did Elvis leave the building, but now we're going to talk about God. So I'm going to start with some Unity, a reading that was actually that I found to start with. Ask the average person if he believes in God. He'll probably answer, well, of course I do, of course. Ask him what his conception of God is, what he thinks God is to do with his everyday life. He'll rarely have anything sensible to say. To most persons, God is referred to chiefly in clichés such as the man upstairs. Someone up there loves me. I'm going to meet my maker. Actually, God is our maker, but most of us have grown up with a primitive concept of God, a big man, big and good, but still a big man living in the universe. This often implies a life and death struggle with evil and forces of darkness. Preacher welcomes this congregation in all and common statement. If you're here today, the uniting in support of our God, he has a great battle on his hands with the devil, and if he fails, it'll be the end of us all. What an anemic concept of the universal process. So, let's look and check our thoughts and analyze our feelings. Those feelings to God, to our relationship with the universe. Shocking as it may seem, the God of our fathers is no longer adequate. Life in the new age calls for a larger thought of God. It's important to resolve the hang-up about evil. Oh, and by the way, evil spelled backwards is live. I have a couple of quotes from the Bible that have just blown me away, and I'm going to read them slowly. The first one is from Isaiah 46:4. Even to your old age, I will be the same, and I will bear you up when you turn gray. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you and deliver you. Pretty cool. And now I want to read this one. This one gave me goosebumps, and you'll see why at the end of my talk. Deuteronomy 1:31. And you saw how the Lord your God cared for you all along the way as you traveled through the wilderness, just as a father cares for his child. Now he has brought you to this place. And you saw how the Lord your God cared for you all along the way as you traveled through the wilderness, just as a father, let's put father, mother, cares for his, her child. Now he or she has brought you to this place. And now I would like to read what I wrote to start off my talk. God has left the building. It is really interesting. I have conversations with people that sometimes are quite revealing. Sometimes I do not understand them completely. Like, for example, I was talking to a person and she said she gave up on God because her spouse died. I totally understand being devastated, angry, sad, abandoned, scared, hopeless, and many other emotions when we lose someone or something we really love and depend upon. Yet, if you have a belief and faith in God, why would that change? Do we not know that part of this life means we die? If we have a job, we could lose it. Relationships change. One thing I have learned is that God never leaves. Sometimes I leave the building. What I have come to know is that God is always waiting for me when I open the door and go back in. God never leaves the building. I think this is such an important concept because I have so many times talked to so many people who have said to me, well, I don't really have faith anymore. I feel like God has left me. And what I think happens to us is that when we are in deep grief, when we are in deep pain, when we are in deep fear, when we are in deep sorrow, we retreat. And we retreat into our own selves. We pull back. We pull away from the people that loved us. We pull away from God. And we might even ask, I was a good person. Why did this happen to me? I mean, I think about all these poor people in Ukraine right now, and a school was just bombed this morning, an art school. A maternity hospital was bombed with mothers who were pregnant. The babies weren't even born. What did they do? So did God leave? Did God leave during World War II, during the Holocaust? Or perhaps was it people who moved away from the laws of God? I live with two laws, man's law and God's law. I might have told this story before, but it's kind of a funny one, and it's a true one. I was asked to do a retreat in Jefferson City quite a few years ago for a unity group. It was a weekend for women. And they were so kind. I had a wedding to perform the night before, and so they said, okay, you can come Saturday morning. So I left bright and early, and when I'm on the highway, I designate my own speed. Because if it's 70, but there's no one on the highway, I might go 80 or 85. There's no one there. Well, what I failed to realize is Kingdom City, if you're familiar with Highway 70 going through Missouri, Kingdom City is the turnoff for Jefferson City, and it's Kingdom City. It's not the highway. I mean, it's a highway there where there's a lot of highway patrol. So I got off, and I'm continuing my speed through their town. And I was pulled over by a very nice officer who said, "Ma'am, do you realize that you are going 80 in a 55?" And I went, "Oh, officer, I'm so sorry." I said, "But these women in Jeff City are waiting for me at a Unity retreat, and I'm looking at my watch, and I'm going to be late, and I didn't realize it." He goes, "Ma'am, can I have your license?" I said, "Sure," and I handed him my license. And he goes, "Can I have your insurance card?" Well, I wasn't real good about putting them where I should find them, and I think I had them from 5 years prior, so I had to ruffle through all of them, and I found it, and I handed it to him, and he walked back to his car, and I'm sitting there, oh my God, it's making me 3 minutes late. Oh no, another 4 minutes late. What am I going to do? I'm going to be really late. Comes back to my car, and his head's shaking. He's just going like this. He goes, "Ma'am, just go. Just go." He goes, "But do me a favor, please be careful, because I don't want to get a call that you were in an accident or hurt someone else or yourself." And I went, "Officer, please, you have no need to worry, because I operate by two laws, man's law and God's law. And when I choose my speed, I'm going by God's law. So I promise you it will be okay." And when I tell the story, nobody can believe that anybody would let someone walk over 25 miles over the speed limit. But I thought that's truly how it is. Like stop signs or I don't know, all of the laws that humanity has made. We need those, some of them. We need some of them. I mean, like I said, in my subdivision, there are stop signs. But if I'm coming home at 10 o'clock at night and there is not a soul on the street, I just go through it. And I know if there is a cop there, there is I could get a ticket. But I'm willing to chance it. I'm not hurting anyone. There was no one there. I checked all sides. That's a man law. But I feel like if I ran it, knowing there's people or kids out playing, now it's a God law because I'm putting human beings in jeopardy. Well, that's my personal relationship with my God. My God is a phenomenon. It's a he, she. It's an energy. It's a force. It's like electricity. The only way that I have no electricity is if I unplug. If I want my air conditioning on, I need to make sure that the power is on and that plug is pushed into where it should be pushed in, right? Or I could live my life in the dark. Just unplug everything. Oh gosh, I don't have any electricity. Yeah, I do. But I need to plug it in. Now, what if you thought the same way about God? God doesn't leave the building. You need to tune into God. You need to get on the right station. You need to cut out the static. You might need to pay a little extra for Sirius radio. Who knows? But you need to find the right channel. And when you find it, you never let it go. Never. I think that we can learn to live with all of the pain, and my acronym for pain, personal agony, invoking newness. We can live with pain when we are tuned into God. Because I often think about the poor parents who have lost children, or children who have lost parents when they're very young and they're orphans. And in my mind, I always switch it. And I just go, I'm so grateful that I had this relationship for as long as I had it. Whether it's a year or 2 years, 20 years, 40 years. I'm so grateful for everything that I have. At this time of my life, we should be every day, but I am so grateful every day that I wake up and I get to have another day on this amazing planet. Are there ugly things that I see on this planet? Absolutely. Absolutely. But do I need to only look at the ugliness? Can I look at the kindness of people, the bravery? We see it in times of war. I think that's one of the times we see the most. Even now, people are still honoring people from the Holocaust who helped save people at the risk of losing their own lives. People are doing that now. People have gone over to Ukraine. I think about these reporters embedded in the war. We've lost several reporters already. And I think, but for their bravery, we would not know what is going on. And I think they must have an unfathomable amount of dedication to life, to people, to humanity. That's God too. God isn't just in the building. God is in and around and through every particle, every single thing. God is within us. God acts as us. And it is up to us to bring forth that godliness. That when we go somewhere, when we do something, that we talk to people, that we compliment them, that we smile at them. Strangers, of course, because guess what? Strangers can become friends. I just had lunch the other day with a wonderful woman that I've met through Zumba. At the Y. I had lunch with another woman that I met in my bar class because we became friends. We have a whole group of friends we made from Starbucks. They were strangers, but we spoke to them. We reached out to them. We touched their lives and they touched ours. So folks, God is always in the building. And if you don't feel the presence of God, you're the one that needs to open the door and go back in. And now I want to end with one of my most favorite readings in the whole world forever and ever. And it touches my heart as much when I read it now as when is the first time that I read it. And I know you all know it. If you don't, you're in for a treat. Footprints in the Sand. One night I dreamed a dream. I was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the dark sky flashed scenes from my life. For each scene, I noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to me and one to the Lord. When the last scene of my life shot before me, I looked back at the footprints in the sand. There was only one set of footprints. I realized that this was at the lowest and saddest time of my life. That always bothered me, and I questioned the Lord about my dilemma. Lord, you told me when I decided to follow you, you would walk and talk with me all the way. But I'm aware that during the most troublesome time of my life, there is only one set of footprints. I just don't understand why, when I needed you the most, you leave me. He whispered, my precious child, I love you and will never leave you, never ever during your trials and testings. When you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. And here's my own little sentences. Where is God? Where can God be? No more searching. God lives within me. So, at this point, Randy, will you play us just a little bit of soft music? And we are going to get ready for a short meditation. Close your eyes or not. Find a comfortable spot. And take a deep breath. And as you breathe in, Breathe in the power and the wonder and glory of God. And as you breathe out any of the negativity that you would like to get rid of. And now I ask that you begin to look at your life. Maybe some of the rough times you had, or the sad times when you were in grief. And think about something that might have happened during that time. Perhaps a call from a friend, a butterfly landing on your shoulder, a bird on your windowsill chirping, reminding you of your lost loved one, or any other thing that you can remember that brought you some peace during this very rough time. Do you think it was accidental? Do you think it just happened? Or perhaps was that a moment when your God was holding you up and you would have noticed only one set of footprints because God was carrying you through it. Remember all the times in your life when you thought things were hopeless and all of a sudden a bright light appeared. And you knew it was the light at the end of the tunnel. And you were assisted in creating your new normal. And it was good. Keep these memories of your God being with you in times of trouble, in times of joy, as your guiding light, guiding you through your life, regardless of what it brings. And simply know it is good. And now I ask that you take another deep breath, this time to begin to awaken to the joy in your life, the marvelous people, the power and the wonder and the glory of the God of your understanding. And begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes and perhaps roll your head around. And when you are ready, open your eyes and focus on something you did not notice before. I would like to thank you all for being here with us. And again, I would like to ask you to please like our Facebook page. Send us a message, even if it's just a little thumbs up. Just send us something so we know that you're there and we can feel your presence out there, because each of you is so important to us. Also, please feel free to share this talk with whomever. You can go ahead and post it on your Facebook page, wherever you might choose to do it. Also, we operate solely on donations by wonderful people as yourselves. So if you feel inclined, please, you can donate right on our Facebook page. It's secure, or you can go to our website, usc.midwest.com. I want to thank you all on behalf of myself and Unity Spiritual Center. We will see you here next week. Please come. We are open. We'd love to see you in person. And now the wonderful Elizabeth and Randy will sing and play us out. Thank you. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Hold on. You guys weren't here last week. I was so out of it because normally... Okay, so before Elizabeth and Randy play us out and sing us out, we will have Tony and Bob as the second to last act. Tony is going to read the daily word, and Bob will give us his wonderful quotes. Sorry, guys. Thank you.
Daily Word for today, Sunday, March 20th, 2022. The word positivity. Positivity. I plant, and the affirmation, I plant seeds of positivity and harvest joy. Every gardener knows that blooms grow best in good soil. Even before planting, it's good practice to pull the weeds and prepare the soil, giving the seeds the optimal conditions in which to grow. Today, I tend the garden of my consciousness. I pull the weeds of worrisome and unforgiving thoughts by denying they have any power over me. I create a fertile environment for new positive thoughts that grow through regular prayer and meditation. When I touch that place of infinite stillness and peace, I affirm wholeness, prosperity, happiness, and security for my life. Like bright, beautiful flowers, these positive thoughts bloom and grow in my consciousness. And from Scripture, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, think about these things. And that's Philippians 4:8. Now I turn it over to Bob.
Good morning, everybody. Since spring is here,
Yeah,
I'm so excited, I wet my plants. I couldn't resist that.
That's great.
Okay, birthdays we're celebrating in March are March 1st was Joan Joanne, I should say. March 8th, Tom Walker. March 19th, Gail Vandermeer, may she rest in peace. And March 26th, Donna Baylor. Okay, the quotes for today are, gratitude acts as a magnet that draws respect, friendship, and love, and positivity. When someone does something wrong, don't forget the things they did right. And love yourself first, because that's who you'll be spending the rest of your life with. Okay, take it away, Randy. Art and Liz.
When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high, and don't be afraid of the dark.
Thank you, Elizabeth, for that beautiful music. And we have a special guest here today, Polly, who would like to sing something bigger than you and I. So here she is, the one and only Polly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay. Who made the mountain? Who made the tree? Who made the river flow to the sea? And who hung the moon in the starry sky? Some